but you need to make sure you're eating consistently.
All right, everybody, we are officially recording, and we will officially get the May's PTA meeting underway. As usual, I'm your host, Danny Torres, him, PTA president. Thanks for taking time out of your day to spend it with us and get some updates about the happenings and the ins and outs of your Collinswood Language Academy PTA. So, as always, we always like to start off with lots of wins and celebrating, and there is quite a bit to celebrate as we proceed through Maycember here. You, it feels like ages ago, but it really was only just a couple of weeks ago. Taste of Collinswood with Zaina and Ruth leading the way, and Naomi Bautista helping out. It was, as always, an amazing event. Lots of good food, lots of community, which is exactly what that event is all about. So thank you so much to the both of you for creating continuing such a special part of the traditions at Collinswood. Next up, outdoor beautification. Laura Magnuson, all the families who supported making sure that the campus grounds look great and the garden continues to look awesome. Those I was out there during the fun run this past weekend and couldn't believe how tall some of those blooms and flowers are in the pollinator garden. Vasa was even out there on the 5K fun run selling pumpkin plants that were right from the garden. So as part of the continuing fundraising efforts, so that was really awesome to see. Jasmine Aguilar, who is too busy hanging out with Shakira tonight, led the way alongside the middle school resource team and all the other volunteers to kick off the eighth grade sneaker ball. Judging by the pictures, all the Jasmine was sending a bunch of videos that same day. It looked to be an amazing event. Everybody had a great time, and what a wonderful way to celebrate our eighth graders. Then at the same time that was happening, Sherry Bissell and Carolina Mullman were making arrangements for a park social and play date at Madison Park for grades K through 3. We were busy day with the international parade that morning, but everybody came out, had a good time. We set up some tents, shared some snacks, and kids somehow found even more energy to run around and play in the park. So thank you to the two of you for setting that up. Jamie Clifton, probably the most popular person in the PTA with all the teachers. Last week's Staff Appreciation Week was just awesome. Every single day there was something new, something exciting. Such amazing coordination between all the donations, volunteers that make it happen. You even going as far as offering to open up her personal Venmo account and go out and buy things instead of having people physically donate. You're really making it easy for all of us as parents to participate when in some cases we can't make it to the school to drop off, a half gallon of yogurt on a Friday morning. So thank you to Jamie for everything you do there. Next up, desk building. Dominique Bala and Tina O'Brien were playing Bob the Builder. This is part of our Ham Jams initiative. We're starting to spend some of the monies that we got that we got via the Ham Jams fundraiser. We ordered 30 standing rolling desks for teachers at Collinswood. It was probably the highest demand item on their wish list. Dominique and Tina spent the better part of a week putting those together, doing all the assembly. All we're waiting on now is some stickers that say, property of Collinswood PTA, and we're going to send it out and give those out to the teachers. So really excited to see all of their faces when we're able to deliver that. Then fifth grade fundraising dinners. Kate McGregor, Tanya Gaspar, they were as part of the raising funds for the fifth grade field trip. They made arrangements for Spirit Night and fundraising dinners at Shake Shack and Sportsman's Grill that were really well attended and helped them raise funds to help out the fifth graders on the field trip. Saw a lot of pictures, especially from Shake Shack as well. So big events there. And speaking of fundraising, probably the biggest shout out that we are going to give today is this past weekend's 5K fun run. First and foremost, shout out to Tanya Doxy and her parents who graciously hosted a fundraising dinner at 1900 Mexican Grill. Second, the event, Cole Kessel and the Fun Run Committee for putting on, I mean, honestly, it was an amazing event. It was well organized, it was super well attended. Everybody had a great time. We had people running, we had people walking. I saw somebody doing a mile loop with a cane. I saw somebody who did it in crutches with a cast on their foot. So lots of great positive energy from that event, and it was super awesome to see. So Cole and team, from measuring out the 5K, the official 5K length, to cutting down some tree limbs to make the little tree passage on the route. Thank you for all you all did to bring that event to fruition. And then, of course, the mission behind it all, Sherry Bissell educating us all about the importance of why we need these playground sunshades and why we're raising money for them. So, huge thank you to Sherry for being the passion behind the mission for this event. Like I said, lots of awesome things that are happening around the school. And we've got more things to come, so excited about all of that. All right, next up, let's move into the official agenda items. As I hope everybody saw via all the messages that I sent earlier today, we did send out the meeting minutes from April for everybody to review outside of the meeting, just so we would have a little extra time for the agenda. So since those meeting minutes were dispersed, I receive any messages for addendums or changes or revisions. So I move that we dispense with reading the meeting minutes. Is there a second?
Second.
And all in favor excuse me,
I
all in favor of not reading the meeting minutes aloud.
Aye.
I
All right. In that case, would anybody like to make a motion to approve the meeting minutes as written?
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes as written.
And any second, do I have a second?
Second.
And all in favor?
But they're
Aye.
only doing.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Sold. We'll have those meeting minutes approved as written. As always, they're available. They're available for further review and historical records on both the Collinswood PTA website, as well as you can always watch the recordings on the YouTube channels if you ever want to hear me chat about PTA stuff. Next up, today we actually have a special guest who has been around for a little bit already, but has not had the opportunity to properly introduce themselves during a PTA meeting. So I would like to formally introduce Miss Leslie Nixon, our Dean of Students at Collinswood. Would like to give her the chance to introduce herself.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. I'm Leslie Nixon. Excuse me, I am in my car. But I want to introduce myself. Thank you all so much for welcoming me. I really am excited to be at Collinswood, and thank you all so much for your support that you have provided for all of the events we've had so far. And it's nice to meet everyone.
It's good to meet you too, Miss Nixon. It's been awesome to see you around school and get to know you the past few weeks.
Thank you. I feel the same about you all.
Yay! I just also want to say I've met the school a bit, and you have bring a very positive energy to our school that we love. And my daughter thinks you're beautiful like Beyonce. Her words.
Now, now that
Thank
is
you.
that is some serious praise right there. All right, well, thank you, Miss Nixon. Next up, we will send it over to Miss Lisa Pugh with a treasurer's report and treasurer's update today.
Hi, yes. I hope everybody's having a great evening. Our beloved treasurer, Dominique Bala, has been kind in giving me a very small job and short report to deliver on her behalf to you tonight, and mostly just a breakdown of a lot of the stuff we've spent from Ham Jams is the general summary of what's in the report. And we've done, I think, all reconciliation up through the prior month that's possible. And then we'll be getting together with the Finance Committee about the rest. Today's bank balance as of this day, the 13th, is $131,958.80. The breakdown of those purchases made over this last month include Staff Appreciation Week, Ham Jams, that I'll break down a little bit later, our middle school dance, the fun run expenses, the movie licensing renewal, and professional development. Of that amount that cycled through us this month is $40,679.96. And that's that Ham Jams amount that was spent so far for our event expenses that occurred this month, the teacher appreciation breakfast, our CASA shirts for the children, books for rising kindergartners, class sets of Spanish novels for upper elementary and the middle grades, our standing desks that we talked about earlier, and our class set of piano keyboards and stands. And that is all she had for me to have to do for you this evening.
Thank you so much, Lisa. And any questions or discussions following the treasurer's report?
Yes.
Go for it, Chair.
I would like to make a motion. Can I make my motion after I do my talk, though?
Absolutely.
Like, do I have to do it during the treasurer's report?
You can make a motion at any time during the meeting.
Well, and I'm concluding technically, so I don't know if we need to do something to accept that report, but then I'll be done and you can do it.
No official motions or anything are needed to accept the reports, more so just informational.
Yeah, I'm done.
I like how you told us that whole breakdown, Lisa, because I think that sometimes people, you don't know where the money goes if we don't say it during the meeting. So that was awesome. But don't go anywhere because I need to make a motion. That's the teaser.
And Sherry actually brings up a good point, just to reiterate and make sure that everybody knows, and tell your friends, tell everybody, the PTA is an open and transparent organization. At any time, any person can ask for an update and view our budget versus actuals, to confirm how much monies we have available within our bank account. For those of you that may lead committees or may lead as volunteer for certain events, you can ask to see how much money you have available to you in your budget at any time. There's no smoke and mirrors here. So if anybody ever asks, or if you hear anybody discussing, hey, what does the money go towards? First, you should let them know, hey, we have PTA meetings once a month. You should come join one. And then second, you should let them know, hey, reach out to any member of the executive board or reach out to the treasurer directly. We're happy to provide that information.
That is actually very important, because I would much rather Dominique and I do the work of getting you your answers that are factual than for people to just be like, I don't know, suspicioning what they think is going on and then having whatever thought they're having about that. That can all be alleviated and handled if folks ask the questions and just give us a minute to give them the answer.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Lisa. Sounds like we don't have any other questions for you. So we will kick it next over to Sherry Bissell, to share with us some middle school updates on behalf of Jasmine, who again is currently watching Shakira. Not that I'm jealous. So Sherry, take it away for middle school updates.
Okay, I'm bringing them up now. So just two really quick. One, the 8th grade sneaker ball was a great success. I'm sure we all got some giggles out of some pictures that were posted, and they just had an amazing time. She's really knocking it out of the park. Number two, the Okay. There's going to be a summer middle school hallway CASA project, and it's in the coordination stage right now. She is working on a sign up genius to get student CASA volunteers to come out and help paint. If we have any parents that are looking for a creative outlet as well, we will get those signups out, and please feel free to sign up yourself. Dominique is usually meandering the hallways in the summer with paintbrushes and stuff. So I'm sure she would love help, and that's not me. So if anyone else loves that, it's a good one. Okay, that was the middle school update. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Sherry. Any questions or discussion regarding middle school updates? Just realized that I stopped sharing my screen, so I'm gonna make sure I get the agenda back up here so everybody can see it. All right, next up, Miss Jamie Clifton, Staff Appreciation.
Hello, everyone. Sorry you can't see me. I'm in my car. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Great. I just wanted to say a huge thank you to our school community for donating massively to our gift card giveaway this year. We were able to give away a gift card to every single staff member, 100 staff members, and we even had one surprise $100 Amazon gift card this time, which was really exciting for Senora Amaris, who was very surprised and appreciative of that very exciting gift card giveaway moment. And I had a lot of help from a lot of people during staff appreciation. Olga Allison and Nikki Benke helped me put together 100 gift bags for our staff, and then help me stuff those envelopes full of gift cards. We had over 70 people donate to, like, Venmo me directly or Zelle to purchase gift cards for the staff, which gave me more money to play with to have some more catering for our Wednesday lunch for the staff. And there was more than enough food for everyone, which is incredible. So they got to take some home too in some to-go boxes. Students and families really were so loving with their notes for their teachers and staff and wearing their favorite colors on Thursday. And then that snack cart was so full. It was overflowing. We had to keep reloading, and staff got so many good snacks on Friday. And there was so much gratitude and joy all week. And the Collinswood staff are just so grateful for the PTA. We also had Nurse Appreciation Day in there on Wednesday, and Nurse Trevenge was really so happy, and she said that she's really happy at this school, and that she, wants to stay, and she doesn't want anybody coming for her job, because she really loves it here. And the cafeteria staff made a beautiful card for the PTA expressing their gratitude for everything that we do for them. So thank you, everyone, for your contributions and for the ways that you show up, whether it be Venmoing me for a gift card or bringing stuff for the snack cart or coming and giving your time, like Julie and Jenny came to push the cart. We had some Olga and Norma, and we had many people serving lunch on Wednesday. Just the way that people show up to share their gratitude and appreciate the staff is really, really amazing. And I am grateful for all of you here and everyone on PTA that participates in all that stuff. And we are officially done with staff appreciation events for the year, which is good because we are also out of money for staff appreciation.
Thank you so much, Jamie. Thank you so much, and thanks again for everything that you did and you continue to do to support the staff appreciation initiative. Thank you.
It's such a pleasure. Thanks, guys.
All right, everybody, moving right, or actually before we move on, any questions for Jamie?
Danny, check your email real quick. I sent you the pictures of the card that Jamie was referring to from Ms. Jones and the rest of the cafeteria ladies, that they sent to the PTAs. They wanted everyone to just know how
Coming
appreciate.
right up.
And shout out to Naomi Bautista also for being one of our gracious servers for the catered lunch on Wednesday.
She's also at Shakira, so we don't have to. You don't have to really thank her tonight.
I mean, I want to shout her out whether she's here or not.
It's okay,
Oh,
Jamie. We can be a little bit petty today. It's okay.
I am super jelly. So I hope they're having a great time for all of us.
For all of us, yes.
That's awesome. That's such a great little card. Thanks for sending that, Sherry.
Yeah, you're welcome. I can't find it, and I knew as soon as Jamie gave it to me, I need to take a picture of this because I'm probably going to lose it.
All right. Speaking of Sherry, talk to us about Sherry's Sprout supply boxes.
Yes. Sprout supply boxes are back. Buy your supplies for next school year. These are all the things that the teachers have requested. I reach out to them in like March so that they can start changing making adjustments to the list that they had the prior year. $5 from every box sold will be donated back to the PTA. So gives us a little fundraising bump. The headphone situation is usually the bane of my existence. So this year, in every single box, every grade level, they're going to have an upgraded headphone. It's going to be like the full ear ones. They're durable. That's what I'm trying to say. A much more durable headphone. And yes, that buy them. Okay. What else I wanted to say about them?
We do let me pause you real quick, Sherry. We do have a question from Pamela.
Oh, sorry. Hey, Pamela.
Hey, so just curious, maybe this is more a question for Miss Labrizzi or the staff. Did the shopping list for the teachers by grade get like reviewed and vetted? I just remember.
Yes, that was me. Hi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I went through.
First grade was a shock. Yeah.
First grade I vetted last year too. I don't know what happened there, but it has been done. Actually, you can talk to Senora Duran. She's the one that put it together. First grade is probably the most expensive one. If anyone has first graders, it is the most expensive one by far. But they need a lot of stuff. Like usually the kindergarten through second and even kind of third grade are the pricier ones. As the kids get older, they need less things. So the price of the boxes do come down, but there might be a little sticker shock for first grade. It's like nearly $200.
$196.
Okay. I just remember when I was shopping for first grade last year that there were some duplicate like entries on the list. It was clarified. I'm not sure. So anyways, I'm just looking out for everybody's wallet and making sure like only the necessary items are there.
Did you buy a box or did you go by the list that gets sent home?
I used the list and bought my own last year.
So that maybe I don't know. The list that they give me, that usually ends up being the one that they copy and paste for that document that they send home. That's how they do it. But if you buy a box, it is definitely accurate. So there's my plug. Click the link. There's the school code. We will have them for sale until July 8th. And every year, there are a handful of people that want a box like July 26th. And I actually can't remember if I've made that happen, but we're just going to say I can't make that happen. So just order it whenever you can. Set a reminder on your phone. Order it before July 8th. Yeah. And then I might put something on the group me's in the summer. If you're one of the people that does actually look at it in the summer, when they all come in, they get dropped off on these big pallets in the back near the gymnasium. There's a lot of pallets and there's a lot of deliveries that have to happen because they're each marked for each grade. I usually do it me. Dominique helped me last year. That was nice. If anyone wants to help, that would be cool. Just putting a bug in your ear. That's the supply kits.
Any other questions for Sherry regarding the Sprout supply boxes? There is a comment in the chat that pricing it out individually, the box did come out a little bit cheaper for somebody's first grader last year. So, great option to avoid the stores. Great a way to save yourself some time. Great way to support the PTA monetarily, making sure that we can raise some additional funds. So it's a great option there. And thank you, Sherry, for continuing to spearhead that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm happy to do it.
So Sherry, keep talking to us. Tell us more about the fun run.
Okay, guys, the fun run. Wow. We had so much positive feedback. There's always room for improvement. So please, Danny, will you put my email in the chat? If you have anything that you feel like we can improve upon, and we will take it under consideration. We're going to have a debrief meeting next week while things are still fresh in people's minds. I too was equally surprised at how well we pulled that off. It was just Collinswood spirit all the way. It was amazing. Okay. Now what you've all been waiting for. Do we have enough money for the sunshades, Sherry Bissell? Not quite yet, but we're going to change that. So after my push yesterday, which included annoying you all on GroupMe again, and I didn't put it out on social media, you're welcome, but I did have Dina put it on Parent Square. That messaging yesterday elicited $1,500 more, which means that we are trying to raise, I'm just saying $23,000 because it's like $22,975. We're trying to raise $23,000 for this one shade. Danny, check your email, phase 1. This one sunshade, we're almost there. We have a gap right now, money needed still, $3,969. We still have Frios that was there selling the pops. They're getting back to me with the number that we raised because they were giving a portion back. But I mean, I don't expect that much. Maybe it's another $100, but we'll take every dollar. But I'm not expecting that to make this a significantly less number. What Danny is showing you is the sunshade, the shade that we're raising money for. If your back is to the school and you're looking at those 2 playgrounds in front of you, it is for the playground on your left to cover one part of that playground. It looks very much like Palisades Park Elementary. So just that's the vibe. We're going to get this shade. My tenacity knows no bounds. We're going to get the shade because I make a motion. I'm making a motion that, hold on, I'm prepared for this. I had to write it down because I've never made a motion. Okay. I make a motion that we add a sunshade expense line to the budget. And what that would mean is that then we could move monies from other line items into the sunshade expense line. And those monies, I am going to be talking to the Ham Jams people. Dina, I think I saw you pop on the call. Dina, oh, she was here. iPhone 139. Okay.
Well, I'm here.
Yay! Oh, see, I knew you were in there somewhere. So we had talked about using Ham Jam's money to get us to goal after our final push, and we have the final number. But the thing that we need to do tonight per Dominique is add a sunshade expense line to the budget. So I make a motion to add sunshade expense line to the budget. Do I have a second?
Second.
We have a motion on the floor and it has been seconded. I'm going to go ahead and open it up for any questions or discussion. Does anybody have any questions about what this means?
Yeah, the final total of how much more we need is how much?
It's going to go down from this, but currently we're sitting at $3,969.
Got it.
After your messaging went out yesterday, we elicited $1,500 more in donations.
All right, so
I'm sorry, I have a quick question.
Yep.
I haven't seen the budget or where we are with everything for this year, but are we in a good position this year? Have we made some money? Have we kind of saved money anywhere or
Well,
I know we have money in the bank.
We are a non-profit, so we do not make any money. Otherwise, we get in trouble.
We don't make money, but we keep some money in our account. So there's in reserves or whatever.
What's being proposed here is having part of the financial obligations we have. In order to spend money, we have to have a dedicated expenditure line item on our budget. So we're at right now all of the income that we've had from various fundraising efforts, such as the 5K, they have their own dedicated income line item on the budget. So this will allow us to take the money by adding the expense line item, it allows us to take that money from income, move it into that dedicated expense, and then there's further discussion outside of this particular motion to move money from other fundraising line items into the expense line item for the sunshades that will also be voted on. But in short, this is something that is we do have budget available in other line items without negatively impacting those separate initiatives.
Cool. Thank you.
Absolutely. Pamela, go ahead with your question.
Super quick, and I think I'm sorry if I didn't see the details in the fun run about the shade, but I assume if it's correct to assume that the shade is of quality to like actually really protect and be durable and protect from UV rays. Is that true?
Yeah, that's a great question. So in the beginning of the year, I was in talks with Cunningham Recreation, who is the CMS approved vendor for any of these types of materials. And it is UV ray protected and it doesn't fade. It's the same, I don't want to say same exact shade, but if you've been to like Beverly Woods, they have like a big giant sunshade. It's that same material, I believe they use the same company as well.
Great, thanks.
Yeah, good question.
So to add to that, the specific shade that they are installing is the GT or Game Time shade. So if you go to gametime.com and pull up their Sunblocks BLOX shade, you'll get more information. And they are rated to block up to 97% of UV rays, which could cause melanoma, just one burn. I learned that this weekend at the fun run. And it can cool the area by up to 25 degrees, which if anybody has been on that playground anytime between say August and December 1st, that 25-degree is a huge difference. So it is, as Sherry said, it is both approved. It is approved by CMS, and this is not just some sheet of nylon that is being proposed to be installed over the playground.
Good question from Melissa. The lifespan of the shade. I would have to ask, but these are very durable. And that price quote that you saw is fresh from a week ago. I initially had really high hopes of raising like $100,000 to do all the things. But I split them up into phases. And so that is from a week ago. And I want to be able to buy the shade by June so that we could have it ready for the kids to be cooled off under in September, August. And someone reminded me on the side, thank you. There was a PTA questionnaire that went out in the beginning of this year where 100 parents responded about their priorities for PTA extra funds, or like where would you like to see us put our extra funds in should we acquire any. And number one was sunshades. Number two were the J1 visas for our teachers, which after more investigation throughout this year is actually not something we can really help with, but we'll just take that as helping teachers. And those were by far and away the top two. So with that in mind, that's how I started traversing this path with Cunningham Recreation. There are 3 phases that we can do this in. And so phase 1 is that shade. Phase 2 and 3, we can switch them. They don't have to go in this order, but phase 2, Danny, I sent you that too.
Working on it.
Would be for the next year's fun run, and with the goal of getting these umbrella shades on the right side of the playground. The second picture doesn't come out quite as well, but they look like those. Those would be maybe $1,000 more expensive, but they were about the same cost. They don't have to be that. There are other shades we can put there. It might be a little more expensive this way. And that's a conversation I can have with Cunningham at a different time, because they have to actually build in those bars. They have to build those into our existing play structure. It just makes it a little more costly. So if you've ever been to the Harris Y, where they have just the freestanding shade itself, maybe we could just do a couple of those, and maybe that would be cheaper, and still give off some shade. But that can be up for debate and discussion. Phase 3 is the kindergarten and first grade courtyards. And Danny will pull that up as well. That would be for the 3rd year of the fun run. Each courtyard, the goal would be to have a Gaga ball pit in each courtyard, which is what you see in that. If you go all the way up, Danny, the octagon with the black trim, yeah, those are the Gaga ball pits in each courtyard. And then the thing below it would be the climbing structure. There's not much wiggle room on what to put in there. There's certain guidance, and then there's also some age-related concerns. So this is probably not up for much debate. Climbing structure and Gaga ball pit. To get that in each of the courtyards, it's just under $38,000. Why I have that as phase 3, although I'd be squishy on making it phase 2. Like, I think that could be up for debate at a different time. is that hopefully having 2 successful runs and people seeing something tangible for their dollars that they're trusting the PTA with, maybe that would build up enough goodwill that by the third time we do it, people are like, all right, this PTA is going to do good stuff with this money. I trust that these things are going to happen. There will be more momentum behind the fun run itself and fundraising for those things. So that's kind of the vision. I would have loved to do it all in one year. If you guys know people that just want to write big checks, we can put those to good use. Or if you're a business owner, or if you know people that are business owners, Priscilla, if she's still on here, she is a realtor. She was one of our sponsors. She wrote us a very generous check to have this happen. If you're a business owner, you can get a write-off because we're a 501c3, and maybe that's something that would appeal to you, as well as doing good things and preventing skin cancer in children who aren't getting sunscreen on them before they go to school. Only 5 sunburns and you've doubled your risk for melanoma.
So do want to bring this back a little bit. Couple things. Maya, I saw you had your hand up for a little bit. Did you have something to add or a question for the
Not
discussion?
a question, but Sherry actually answered it because I was going to ask about the survey that went out and what the results were of that. So I think I'm good now. Thank you.
Awesome. And then a question from Bailey in the chat. Just curious, if other schools have had the shade, if other schools have had the shade, was it also paid for by their PTA or did CMS provide it?
CMS does not provide shades. Yes, the PTAs had to do that. And we still have to get CMS approval. You pretty much, like Cunningham Recreation, the guy who owns it, this is just insider information. You can ignore me if you want. The guy who owns Cunningham Recreation used to work for CMS, so he knows the people in CMS. He knows what they're going to say yay to and what they're going to say nay to. So they've really never brought a proposal to the table that that CMS says no to. Why that matters? Because when you want to get something done like this shade structure, just to put, is Talena Durham on this call? I'm gonna shout her out, or actually her husband Adrian, to get just this sunshade in place. And before you can get it approved by CMS, a structural engineer has to do these sealed drawings. That's $1,000. So they were basically asking us to put up $1,000 before we even knew something would be approved. Talena Durham heard me complaining about this in Helping Hands. This is why people need to go to Helping Hands if you can, because this is where all the action happens. She heard me complaining about this and trying to come up with a solution or beg to have them not require us to do these sealed drawings before their approval. And she said, hey, my husband Adrian is a structural engineer. And wouldn't you know, Adrian actually knows someone that works for Cunningham. And there's this whole situation happening where Adrian is actually doing these drawings for us. And we are not going to have to pay $1,000 before having these things done. So that has been taken out. That's just like a wonderful part of our community, and helping things come together. So why did I go down this tangent? I don't remember, Danny. Pull me back in.
Yeah, the question was in regard to whether CMS provided these shades or have PTAs.
Yes. So PTAs buy them, and it'll get approved. The sealed drawings are in the works right now and actually should be delivered by the end of the week. So we can start moving into actually moving the money.
So I'm going to go ahead and close discussion on this topic. Just being cognizant of time. As a reminder, the motion on the floor is to to add a line item to our budget specifically for sunshade expense. It has been seconded. I will now put it up to a vote. All in favor of adding the sunshade expense line item to the budget, please say aye.
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 And any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. We will add the line item for sunshade expense to the budget. All right, team, moving on. Forward and onward. Pamela Palacios, we've got some miscellaneous PTA updates. Go ahead and share away.
Okay, I'll go super quick. I'm really just, it's more of a update. I'm excited to share that Megan Penland is a first grader, no, kindergarten PTA mom, and she is going to lead red carpet event next year. Yay. So I'm going to transition over to her before for that time frame, of course. The other update is Vanessa Bone is a member of our newsletter team, and she has graciously accepted to become the official team lead for that. It's just project management, just kind of help our team stay on point and on schedule, because making us an email, it sounds simple, but it's not. If anyone knows CRM, and working with things like MailChimp or what we use as Campaigner takes a little bit of training and just, but it's fun. And she is stepping up. I'm stepping off, and I'm really excited for handing over the reins to a new member. So yay. I am looking with that to retire from volunteer coordinator. And it sounds big, but it's really another project management great opportunity for remote volunteering from the convenience of your home computer. It's not a lot of hours at all. It's just ongoing management of sign up genius links and careful, staying in touch with the VPs on what the needs are and helping promote it on our channels. So it's really low, how do you say, low labor, not really intensive, but I would love to transition that to a new person, volunteer coordinator. That's it.
Thank you, Pamela. Thanks for those updates about the transitions. So is there any questions for Pamela regarding her updates? Cool deal. Everybody be on the lookout for somebody who you think would make an amazing volunteer coordinator and pass their information along. All right, next two agenda items. I will handle both of these. First, school improvement team. Both of these line item or both of these agenda items are be on the lookout or preview coming events. The school improvement team has three positions becoming vacant for next school year. And while the school improvement team is a separate entity from the PTA does handle and facilitate the nominations and the voting in of the SIT parent representatives. So be on the lookout for more communication, likely within the next couple days, with a Google form featuring all of the nominees, as well as a little bit more information about them and your ability to vote. School improvement team is a combination of parent representatives as well as school administration and teacher representatives, and that team meets once a month and really dives into some of the nitty-gritty of how the school is run, what some of the school grades are, things like Title IX, things like anything and everything that you can imagine as far as the day-to-day administration of the school. So it's a really great way, really impactful team for some of the stuff that's behind the scenes with the way the school runs. Sherry did put a link in the chat. It is not too late to volunteer for or nominate yourself or somebody else for participation in the SIT team. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to myself or Sherry or even Principal Modine. Also, Tiffany Daniels is the current chair of the SIT board, so we're happy to provide information for anybody. But for now, be on the lookout for that information to come in the next couple days. And speaking of nominations, also be on the lookout for a special PTA meeting that will be held likely in 2 weeks, definitely by the end of the month. We just need to get our ducks in a row. And by we, I mean I need to get my life together. The special PTA meeting will serve two functions. It's just a reminder for everybody, two very important functions. First and foremost, we will be voting in, excuse me, or holding elections and voting in the executive board for next year's PTA. So super important to make sure that your voice is heard there and you have the opportunity to vote on the candidates that will lead the PTA for next school year. This meeting is very likely also when we will be reviewing and voting on approval of next year's budget. So the PTA fiscal year does end on June 30th. So we won't be able to spend any more money until for next year. After that day, we won't be able to spend any money until we get approval of a budget. So we will very likely do that as well. Again, be on the lookout for that to come within the next few days as far as a scheduled date, and look forward to seeing everybody there. So that's it for the written agenda. Anything else from the gallery, from the attendees, to add to the agenda today? Cool deal. Quick rundown of upcoming events. May-Sember continues right into June. We've got the athletic banquet on Friday, on May 22nd, 28th, 30th, and a whole lot of retesting dates in between. EOG testing. Miss Labrizzi sent out messaging via Parent Square. We're still short a few proctors. As a reminder, the key here is that they have to be approved CMS volunteers. But otherwise, it could be you, could be your parents, could be an uncle, could be an aunt, could be a living, breathing adult who is willing to hang out with some kids and help proctor and administer an exam. So anything that we can do to help out with that and help bring proctors into the school for those dates, the easier it'll be for our administration, and more importantly, it helps prevent teachers from our kindergarten through second grade teachers from being pulled away from their classrooms. Enables them to continue with their teaching, continue with their lesson plans, help them out. So please continue to reach out to everybody and help out with that initiative. Field Day is on the 3rd. Ms. Matos, I know, has an amazing day planned. June 5th is party time. End of year celebrations for the middle school casas as well as the classroom celebrations. You'll hear from room parents with more information on that for the elementary school classrooms, middle school resource team for the casa celebrations. The For June 6th, the very next day, is our promotion ceremonies. Um, Jasmine and team will be heading the initiative for 8th grade promotion ceremony. That's at 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. 5th grade ceremony will be 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. Be on the lookout for communication and sign up geniuses for volunteers there. The goal here for both of these events is that the 7th graders, the rising 8th graders, and the rising 6th graders, excuse me, rising 8th graders and rising 5th graders, our current 7th graders and current 4th graders, those parents and those grade levels are going to be the best ones to help support that, so that we support them this year, somebody else supports us next year, and so on and so forth, and we pay it forward. So be on the lookout for more sign up geniuses and information there. The last day of school, if you can believe it, is June 10th. It's like 3 or 4 weeks away, or something ridiculous. There's a message in the chat from Pamela wanting to acknowledge and celebrate room parents, which I think is an awesome call out, Pamela. Room parents in the elementary school classrooms do an amazing job of sorting through friendship parties, so all the end of year celebrations, streamlining communications for the teachers, figuring out all the information that needs to be passed on to the parents, and really helping out and making the kids have a great time in these classrooms. There's also a note from Sherry with Miss Matos's email address. Miss Matos needs very big water blasters to borrow for field day. So if anybody has water blasters, this is a school environment, Sherry. Please get in touch with Miss Matos and let her know. Other than that, that's all I've got for you. It is 7:59. And oh, quick update from Miss Labreezy. May 28th, we still need 17 proctors. June 4th, we need 8 proctors, and June 5th, we need 9 proctors. So if you can get in touch with Miss Labreezy, she sends out the parent square or the sign up information via parent square. Oh, and on May 30th, we need 8 proctors. So that information is in a lot of different places. If you don't know where to find it, you can always speak up to any member of the PTA board, speak up to Miss Labreezy directly or Mr. Hutton, or you got options. All right, y'all. Well, in that case, I would like to go ahead and motion that we conclude the May general meeting. Do I have any seconds?
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, y'all. It's been real. It's been fun. We will see you in a couple weeks to talk about the special meeting. Other than that, everybody have a wonderful rest of the night. We'll talk soon.